Hey everybody, it's Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome to, FlossTube number 80, and it is March 21st, Monday, 2023. And if you're new to the channel, this is a channel about cross stitch and my online cross stitch store at cobwebcorner.com. And I actually have a lot to share with you guys today. I'm going to do a tiny market recap. You guys have been inundated with market stuff, so I'm not going to dwell on that a lot, but I did have kind of a unique experience. So I'll share that with you a little bit. And I've got an upcoming retreat that I'm going to, and I actually have a finish. Yeah, like no way. So I actually been pretty busy. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has sent me well wishes for my husband. If you watch my last video, if you've been following me on Instagram, my husband did just start 7 weeks, 35 days of radiation treatment for his prostate cancer, which has returned after a year. So we're pretty disappointed on that, but he is just starting his second full week. So today will be his 8th treatment out of 35, and so far he's doing really, really well with the treatments. So we're hoping that keeps up. But I'm not sure where to start, whether to start with market. I think I will. I think I'll just start with market. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it in detail, but I will give you guys a rundown really quick of, I kind of did not have the market that I was hoping for. I had been really stressed out before going with getting pre-orders and everything. And I'm like, I'm flying. I'm only taking 2 big suitcases. Am I going to get everything home? Blah, blah, blah. And then the night before I left, I was just super excited. I couldn't wait to get there and to meet everybody. So here was the plan. The plan was I would leave on a 5 a.m. flight. So I got up at 3 a.m. on Friday, and market started late Friday afternoon from 4 to 8. So I would be in Nashville about 12:30. I'd be able to go, hopefully check into my room, stop and say hi to friends who I couldn't wait to meet. And then Friday night, I was going to go to all the places I needed to go and get as many pre-orders filled as I could between Friday night and noon Saturday. And then I was going to pack up some things and take them to the post office and ship them home. And then I was going to continue to shop, and then Sunday on pre-orders, things that people had actually paid for that I had to pick up. And then Sunday was going to be more visiting, going to all the many, many rooms that I hadn't been to because of pre-orders, check out some new people. I wanted to talk to some distributors about things with them. And so that was what was supposed to happen. And then I was supposed to leave like about 3 in the afternoon to catch a early evening flight. And I would be home at 10:30 Sunday night back to Cedar Rapids. This is what happened. So I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. My husband, really sweet, took me to the airport because I had 2 large suitcases and a carry-on. Of course, they were empty at this time except for very few clothes. He dropped me off. I had a 5:15 flight, got to Atlanta, everything went fine. Noticed there were storms coming through Nashville, pretty nasty storms. And I'm like, oh, I bet we get delayed, but that's okay. I've got till 4 o'clock. We can get delayed 4 hours, and still, even if I got delayed 6 hours, I'd be there tonight and could catch up in the morning on Saturday. Long story short, we took off late, went down south around the storms, came back into Nashville kind of from the back of the storm, went in to actually land, could see the runway. The plane starts going like this, and people started throwing up on the plane, and all of a sudden they aborted the landing. and we got routed to Little Rock, Arkansas, where I bought my t-shirt because we ended up spending a very, very long time in Little Rock, Arkansas. So we landed about, I don't know, 2:30, and they said, we're just going to do a stop, refuel, head back to Nashville, be there like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm like, okay, great. Keeping it long story short, they let us on until about 10:30, 11 o'clock, finally canceled the flight, sent us all to hotel rooms. So we go to our hotels and exhausted, just exhausted. I'd been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to bed at 12:30. They said we were going to leave at 9 a.m. the next day. And I knew it was going to be chaos at check-in because they had all these, I mean, there were hundreds of people on our flight. So I got up at 5:30 and I skipped breakfast at the hotel and went right to the airport. We were supposed to leave at 9. We left at maybe 11:30, and it was only an hour flight. So I finally get to Nashville at 12:30. Absolutely exhausted, just exhausted. And went and said hi to Helen D and found my roommate and got into my room. And she was awesome. I roomed with Shelly. She was just wonderful. And then I literally was running from room to room because it was already, so market was started 4 to 8 on Friday and then 8 to 6, I think, on Saturday. And it was 1:30 on Saturday and I hadn't filled a single pre-order yet. And I've got people who have paid me a lot of money. I had hundreds of orders. Hundreds of items ordered. I had about 100 people make pre-orders with me. And I was like, I've got to get this stuff taken care of. And what am I going to do? And there was no way I could ship anything home. But I will say I had about 4 people, other shops, offer help when they found out my situation and said, if you need us to ship stuff home for you after you leave, we will. It all worked out, but I was so physically exhausted that I was ill. And I got to bed. I got to sleep about 11 o'clock maybe Saturday night. Couldn't sleep at all. I was nauseous. I didn't feel good. I was anxious. Got up the next day and finished up a couple things that I hadn't made. And I took all of my purchases. I did get to every room I needed to get to and got my pre-orders, but I didn't look at a single other thing. And I organized my suitcases and everything fit. So I'm like, okay, I can get everything home. And then I started looking at my flights, thinking about, I just want to be home. I'm so tired. And I was having fun. Market itself was amazing. But I was so tired that I really couldn't even concentrate. At one point, I wanted to go into Heartstring Sampler's room to ask about having something shipped. And I walked into the room. I knew where the room was. And I walked in and I just started talking to the designer. And I'm like, yeah, I had talked to you earlier about getting some shipped and stuff. And she looks at me and she's like, I don't think we've talked. And I said, well, this is Heartstring Sampler, right? And she goes, no, this is Monticello Stitches. So I was so embarrassed and she was so nice. And I'm like, oh, I need to go up a floor. So that was kind of the way things were going. So anyway, I looked at my flights and I looked at the weather, and I was supposed to fly home through Minneapolis instead of Atlanta. And there was a big snowstorm coming in. And I'm like, I'm not doing this again. So I called my husband and I said, do you think I should change my flight and go through Atlanta? Because I had a completely refundable, changeable ticket. And he said, yes, I think you should. Looks like a pretty bad storm. So I switched my flight. I left right away. I left Market by 11 o'clock in the morning. And got to the Nashville airport. Everything went fine. We had an hour delay in Nashville to get to Atlanta, but I had a 4-hour layover, so that was fine. Get on my plane at maybe 8:30, delayed. We pull back from the gate. We start going toward takeoff, and the pilot stops the plane and says, we have an indicator light that came on and we need to go back to the gate. And there was no gate. So we sat on the tarmac for about 35, 40 minutes. At this point, I'm embarrassed to say this. I was actually in first class, the first row of first class. And at this point, I just started bawling. And I didn't bawl loud, but I had tears just running down my face because I was so tired and I just wanted to go. I was so disappointed with how everything went and I just wanted to go home. So here I am going like this and sniffing my nose and going, and finally the stewardess gets up and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I just want to go home." And she said, "I know, we'll get you home tonight." Well, of course, we didn't go home that night. We finally got to a hotel at 1 o'clock in the morning. And we didn't leave until noon the next day. So I got home about 1:30. I literally walked in the door, threw my bags down and went to bed. I don't think I even got undressed. I took my shoes off and I fell asleep immediately. And then my husband comes in about 5:30 in the evening and says, "Carla, I think you should get up or you're not going to sleep." And I'm like, "Really? You woke me up? I could sleep for 5 days." So I got up, watched some TV, had something to eat, went back to bed. And the next day I got up at 6 o'clock because I was a full day behind on getting orders out. And I worked from 6 to 3 solid shipping pre-orders. And I got about 45 of them out, maybe 40. Stopped for the day, had my husband take those to the post office for me. I get a call from my dad. And my mom was in the emergency room. She had fallen and broken her shoulder. So I was just like, oh my God. And so I closed my store, actually closed it and said, we're closed for family emergency because I had no idea what was going on, whether she was going to go into surgery. I packed a bag. I drove 45 minutes to my mom and dad's place where they have a wonderful regional hospital. By the time I got there, they had her on some pain medication, had taken x-rays and an MRI because she had also hit her head, but that was fine. And she did have a pretty good break in her shoulder, but the emergency room doctor had sent the x-rays and information to I don't know what you call bone doctor, shoulder doctor, surgeon guy. And he said, "I don't think she's going to need surgery." And she'll be 89 in June. So surgery, a major surgery is, not something we want to happen. And so I went home with her and I tried to get her to come home with me and my dad to come home with me, and they refused to do that. So, which I kind of understand. So I stayed with them. I was so tired. I couldn't stay awake. And my mom was just in horrendous pain, really bad. And the doctor had told her, he goes, "This is going to hurt." He goes, "These types of breaks are very painful." And so finally got her to take some of the pain medication that was prescribed. She didn't want to, but we did. And that helped a lot, and figured out how to position her so that she could sleep. And the next day I went back home. She was doing actually really good, and she's continued to do really good. I took her back to the doctor last week, and she's in a brace that she can take off. It keeps her shoulder from moving, so it's kind of up against her stomach like this, and she just can't put any weight down or move her shoulder, but she can take the brace off to bathe and to get dressed and stuff like that. So she has to wear the brace for now another 4 weeks, and then we'll go back, have more x-rays, and see if she's ready for physical therapy. So that was my week. And I'm really glad that it's over. And looking back, you know, I can laugh, but actually I was not happy with how I dealt with it. I did not deal with the stress and the fatigue. And I think part of it is, I don't know, my age or what, but I just didn't go with the flow. I mean, it was just one bad thing after another. And I did have fun, but it was such a disappointment to not fulfill the expectations of the excitement that I had to go to market. But it got done. All market pre-orders are out except for one chart that I'm waiting for from Canada. And it was a success. So anyway, that's what happened. Okay, so let's talk about things that are a little more fun. And my cat is going to knock something off here. So stitchy stuff. I actually was really busy. I continued to work on my February table topper, and I got the middle part put together, and I got, this is the 4 triangles. So these will go around. There'll be one on each side. Well, actually I have to put a border first, an inside border, and then these, and then another border, and then a backing and a binding. So I don't know. I need to just continue working on those. And then you guys, I had a finish. I finally finished Oh Feathers by Rosewood Banner. Look at that. Is that amazing? I just am so happy. This is on a 32 count. I think it's a 32 count. Even weave kind of Lugana, I think it is. I'm not sure. I think it's just a piece I had from Witchelt. And it's the called for sulky threads. It's done in only 6 colors. And I really enjoyed using the sulky threads. So I do need to wash it and then see about getting that framed. That'll probably happen in about 3 years. Then I did start a new piece. I'm getting ready for the Steel City Stitchers Retreat, and I wanted something kind of easy to work on. So I've never been to a big retreat before, and I leave, today's Monday, I leave early, like 5 o'clock in the morning Thursday, and these flights will go better, I swear. So I was watching, oh shoot, I will try to put the name, let me just look it up here. So, all right, sorry, I had to look up the FlossTuber that I've been watching. So I've been watching a new FlossTuber, and she's called That One Stitcher. And it's, That One Stitcher 171, and I'll put a link down below. So I've been watching That One Stitcher. She's new, and she does a lot of little tiny stitches, so she has a lot of finishes. But one of her finishes was Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street. And I've had my eye on this chart for a long time, but I'd never seen it stitched. And she showed it, and I'm like, yep, I'm stitching it. So I started it. I went ahead and started it. I got that much done. And I want to take that to the Steel City Stitchers Retreat as one of my projects. So a finish and a start, like that's major. So then like I said, I've never been, let's see, should I do retreat? I'm going to do haul first. So I had a lot of haul. Oh, I did break it down. I got the most, so I had put in an email to my pre-order people all the drama that went on with Market, and one of my customers sent me the absolutely most beautiful glass teacup and tea, and I'll try to take a picture of it and insert it here if I remember. But that was from Desiree. Desiree, you cannot believe how that made my day. It was an amazing pick-me-up, and it was just an absolute beautiful thing. So other things I did. So if you're going to the Steel City Stitchers Retreat and you don't want to see what I'm bringing for quote gifts, then you need to stop the video and go ahead. So it's only a couple days, so hopefully not too many of you are watching. But there are 4 girls in Steel City Stitchers. Kristen, is it Kristen? Kristen, Erica, Jody, and Erin. And as a thank you gift to them, I made 4 mug rugs, and each one's different. This one says Dream, Create, Inspire. And I did these on my machine with my embroidery machine. And then I made, this one says Live, Laugh, Love. And if you don't know, a mug rug is just an oversized coaster. This one is Faith, Hope, and Love. And these are designs by Juju. Juju is, Juju is a company that does embroidery designs. And this one is Inhale, Exhale, Repeat. So those are going to be my thank you gifts for hosting the retreat for the Steel City Stitchers girls. And then for my table, I got kind of stressed out because people were like, how many people are coming? I want to make sure I have enough gifts. And there's like 200 people. And I'm like, really? People bring 200 gifts? And so I did some checking and they said, you don't have to bring anything at all. But sometimes people will bring things for the people at their table. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And there's supposed to be 8 people at the table. So I made a bunch of scissor fobs. So I made this one, and this is all from jewelry that I had made and have taken apart from when I used to make jewelry full time. So I think I made 12, and I'll let the table pick out the ones that they want, and then I'll have a couple others in case somebody gives me a gift or something, or whatever, you know, bring them home if nobody wants them. So I spent yesterday doing these. This one is the kanji symbol for love, and there's this one. And this one, whoops, there we go. And so these are not for sale. I often have them for sale here. This one says Thoughts, Memories, Ponderings. And this one, and this little owl. And this little fairy. So those are going to be my table gifts. And then just to have on hand, I'm going to take copies of my This Witch Can Stitch, my original design. Again, just in case somebody gives me a little gift of floss drops or something like that. So I worked on that. Let's see, I am really jumping around. Let's do giveaways quick. Last video's giveaways. First one was 5 skeins of color and cotton floss. So it was this. And you had to use the word cotton. And there were, that is the wrong notes. There were 66 people interested in the floss, and the winner is Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. So if you are a winner, my email address is down below. You need to email me. You need to put FlossTube winner in the subject line. Then you need to tell me what you won, because sometimes I send the wrong thing to the wrong person. So tell me what you won and where the mailing address, where I should mail it. The next giveaway was, there's a bunch of stuff in here, and you had to use the word daisy. There were 32 people interested in that, and the winner is Dawn Bosenyeler. I'm so sorry. I just really didn't do that right, but it's Boseneiler. So Dawn, if you won, email me. Tell me you won the daisy items. And then there was a chicken needle minder, and you had to use the word chicken. There were 36 people who wanted that. The winner is Linda Ferenz. And the last one was the crow needle minder. You had to use the word crow, and the winner is Nanette McDougall Dykes. So, yeah. So email me, FlossTube winner in the subject line, and tell me what you won and where to mail it. Okay, so mail and haul and other things. So haul, I got a lot to show you guys. So first of all, I'm not going to show you any inventory because I have a big restock video that I just posted a few days ago, and I posted a video of every single market release that I still have in stock. And those, if you go to my channel under playlists, there's a playlist called restock videos, and you can watch those. And then I have another big order, and I'm going to do a restock video either today or tomorrow. So first of all, I've been talking for quite a while that we've been doing a stitch along with Helen D for Strawberry Fair by October House Fiber Arts. And we've been working very closely with the designer, Robin Sampler. And when I finally got to meet her at market, she said, I have a gift for you. And she gave me this project bag that she made. Isn't that amazing? So that was her gift to me for working on the stitch along. Then I got, like I said, I got the beautiful teacup from one of my customers, Desiree. And then I got my fabric order from Jody at Steel City Stitchers. This is 32 count Lugana. It's kind of a mushroom. It's got some threads on it, sorry. So I got that one, and I got this green. Love those both. And Jody's Club is once a month. You can go, there's a link to Steel City Stitchers below. You can go and ask if there is still if there are any openings, or get on the wait list. You get to pick what size of fabric that you want. I choose 32 count Lugana, and then she does whatever colors she wants to dye that month. So I am getting quite the collection of that. Okay, then I was getting ready for market, and another thing I saw on that one Stitcher 171 was the hoops that she was using. And I've always used, when I very first started, I used the wooden round hoops, which I never liked, and then I switched to Q-snaps. But with my frame that I have, it's hard to get the Q-snaps to be really tight, and they kind of move. So she was using Nurge, N-U-R-G-E frames. So I ordered them on Amazon and tried them, and I've only used them a little bit, but I really like them. And they're in my Amazon shop if you want to take a look at what they are and read the reviews. My link to my Amazon shop is down below. It is an affiliate link. If you were to end up buying something, I would get 10 cents or something like that. So just so you're aware of that. But I like them. They're similar to my embroidery hoops, where you really tighten, and you got to really tighten, but they're nice and tight and light and easier to hold on to, and they fit. I can really tighten them down in my frame. So I ordered a pack that I think was 3 sizes, and I honestly can't remember what I paid. It was not expensive. So I haven't tried the other 2 sizes, but also these are going to pack really well for the retreat. So I got those in the mail. And then with the retreat, I was like, what am I going to do for lighting? And there is going to be a power strip under the table for every table. So I brought an extension cord that then has 3 plug-ins. So I'll be able to plug in once into the power outlet, and then have up to 3 plugins for me. So the light that I was planning on bringing is a clip-on, and I'm going to, it's like this. My husband got me this for the camper, and usually I have it behind me and pointing down. So tonight I'm going to use the frame that I'm taking, which I'll show you in a minute, and then I'm going to see how well this light works with that frame. But this is really bright. It has to be plugged in. It's not a cordless. So I have that, and also I can check this in my bag because it does not have a lithium battery in it. So there's that one. And then I was looking at what I asked Helen D what she did, and I looked online at some videos of what people did. And Helen has always used a neck light, and I think I paid $19 for this. And this is in Amazon too, on my Amazon store. So I've been using this, and I actually need a lot of light because my eyes are not good. I have eye disease, and the more light, the better. So these they have 3 strengths, and I can kind of position it to go on top of my stitching. The only issue I have is that my hands make a shadow on my fabric, but I'm getting around that. So I'm taking that, and that is rechargeable. But I believe I have to take that in my carry-on. And then I have a third light. I don't know whether I need all these lights. I get different information, but I got this table task light. And the reason I bought this one is before I knew that we were going to have electricity at every table, I was looking for something that was rechargeable. And this one can either be plugged in or it's rechargeable. And it has 3 settings. So, and then you can position it different ways. And this is an OT light. And this is also in my Amazon shop. And I think I paid like $59 for this. And I kept the packing. So this also, you guys, put in the comments what I need for lighting. We're in a great big conference room, convention room at the hotel. And I know the overhead lighting is not going to be superb. And I really do need task lighting, but I'm going to have a lap frame. So I'm not really sure that my table light will benefit me a lot. But I also bought this because obviously you're sharing a table with 8 people, and this has a very small footprint. It does turn on and off every time you touch it. So, but I can plug this in. I can recharge it at night. No idea. Haven't used it yet, so I have no idea how long the charge lasts. But it's a nice daylight type of light. But I will have to take this in my carry-on because it has a lithium battery. So not sure. That's 3 lights. And I'm like, I think maybe I got a little overkill there. Then I'm going to take my lap frame. I have a floor frame that I use now. This is what I used to use all the time. It is a, oh dang, the name of it's not a K's or, I'll try to look it up. I don't know why. I hope it's not a knockoff because they usually stamp their name in it. But anyway, you sit on this. So I figured by having this, and I usually put it on my left side. So you sit on it, and you can also put it in front between your legs. And then you can position it any way you want as far as working your frame. And I thought that the lap frame would be perfect, again, for taking up very little room. And it folds down really nice and small. And this is what I use in the RV. So I'm going to practice with this tonight with my clip-on light and my neck light and see if that's enough. But this will pack really easy in my suitcase. So I'm taking that. Then what am I going to stitch? I'm going to stitch, everybody I've talked to and everything I've read says you're not going to stitch as much as you think you're going to stitch. So how much should I really take? And I could just take this and I probably wouldn't finish it. This is the Halloween cat, but it's not real big. It's only 104 by 116. And there is going to be a cross stitch shop there. So if I did finish this and I wanted to start something else, I could always get something else. But of course I'm going to overpack. So I am going to take, I'm thinking about taking this. This is Bluebird of Happiness. It's number 5 in the whatever series by Cottage Garden Samplings. But it's over 1. I'm stitching it over 1 on 32 count. And I'm not sure that that's a good idea to take. But I would really like to get some work done on it. So not sure about that. And then I thought, you know, everybody, another thing that I read, going by the people who have done this, is take small things. Don't take the great big things. So I've got 2 that I want to stitch. One of them is a market release by Ingleside Imaginarium, and it's called Tea Time Companion. And it uses the Cross Stitch the Rainbow Tea Time palette silks by Treenway, and I've never used those silks, and I really like this design. So I think I'm going to kit that up. I do have 9 or 10 of the Treenway silk packs left, and I think I might confiscate one of those for me and find some just basic fabric that's got an over-dyed fabric there, or a hand-dyed fabric behind it, but really it could be done. And it's only 60 by 60. So I think I might kit that up. And then another one that I've been looking at that's small, it's only 54 by 90, is the Cardinal Kin by Plum Street Samplers. And it only uses about 9 colors of thread, maybe 10. And I want to make this for my mother-in-law. She lives in North Dakota, and every time, they don't have cardinals up there, and every time she comes to Iowa, and sees a cardinal, she's just like, oh my gosh, there's a cardinal, and she really likes them. So I was thinking of making that for Christmas, which of course it will never get done. So I might kit those up. And then I've got my garden fair, which I didn't bring in. It's my black and red sampler. So that's probably too much. But you know, with my luck, I might get stuck in the airport for 12 hours again. So anyway, that's it. Today's Monday. Is it today Monday? Today's Tuesday. Oh my gosh. Today's Tuesday. And I told you guys wrong. I'm going to pack today and practice with my lights in my frame. And then I leave at 5:30 in the morning on Thursday. And crossing fingers, I get there. So, new giveaways. Let's do new giveaways. Where are they? All right. Rules for giveaways. You have to be at least 18 so I can legally ask for your address. And don't use the word giveaway. And please be a subscriber. So the first one is 2 skeins of Fiberlicious floss. It's baked apple and cinnamon rolls. Use the word fiber, F-I-B-E-R, fiber. And these will be drawn in my next video. The next one is Jody's fabric. This is a 32 count Lugana. It's kind of a peachy rose color. That's pretty good representation. If you like that, if you want the 32 count, use the word fabric, F-A-B-R-I-C. And the next one is Strawberries and Cream by Meridian Designs. And use the word strawberry, singular, S-T-R-A-W-B-E-R-R-Y, strawberry. And the next one is a pre-owned design, pre-owned chart that is in excellent condition. It's Precious Moments, Precious Gifts. and use the word precious, Prcious. So that's it. Like I said, I'm not going to show any inventory. I do have the restock videos, and all you need to do is go to my channel and go to the playlists. I can try to put a link to the playlist down below, but I have a big video of all of the market releases that you can see in more detail. And then the only other thing I wanted to talk about was the Nashville 2023 cookbooks. And these are spiral bound. They're super nice. Designers and shops submitted their recipes, but this is also filled with designs. I'll try to find a couple where you're not showing the actual pattern. So this is by Dirty Annie's. This one here is by Carriage House Samplings. You've got this little Precious Moments ones. You've got Sorry for What I Said When I Was Hungry by Sweet Stitches. It's just tons and tons. A lot of them don't have pictures. They just have the chart. You've got, let's see, who's this by? Spring Hair by Val's Stuff. Spring Hair. So the thing is, I'm sold out right now. I've ordered 40 more, and then that's it. They're not going to print anymore. So I've got 20 coming in probably next week, and then another 20 that won't ship until April, and then they're not printing anymore. So if you want a cookbook, grab them while you can. If you go to my site, add yourself to the wait list, it will not automatically hold one for you. But once I get them in, you'll get an email that says they're in stock. And if you're quick enough, you can grab one. But I do have 40 coming total. So these are really, really, really nice. And you can see all the different people who contributed. So just wanted to let you know that it's not going to be an ongoing thing. And those are only available to shops who actually physically attended market. So, which is kind of nice, gives us a reason to go. All right, I think that's it. If you have any comments about retreats, I would love to hear them. I will let you guys know how it goes, of course, and we'll see you guys next time. Happy stitching, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.